Hi, I'm Brenda Rahm. I'm going to demonstrate how to pin a quilt backing onto an Innova machine. I have my quilt backing here. I have pre-marked the center by taking the two pieces, lining them up, and I have made a mark at the center part of the backing. I like to use either a chalk marker like this or a colored pencil, because I have found that when I put a pin in to mark my center on a big quilt, a lot of times by the time I get ready to use it, especially on the other end, the pin is gone and I don't have enough room to divide it and do it again. So I have marked the center with the red mark. On my leader, I have also a mark, and your machine may come with this already marked for you. If it does not, what you'll want to do is take a tape measure and measure from the end of the rod into the center. On this machine, it was 30 inches because this is a small demo table, but you'll find your center, make a mark, and then you'll want to do the same thing on the other end and use like a Sharpie or something that won't go away. So take your leader, and you're going to want to go down under this bar and up around the top. It's easy to make the mistake of having it on this side and bringing it up, and then when you get ready to pin your quilt top on, it's too high because it hasn't gone under this bar. So if you can get in the habit of always bringing it down under the bar, up over the top, you'll never make that mistake more than probably 3 or 4 times. So I've pulled it around. My mark is right here on the top of the bar so I can see it. I have this rod locked over here so that it's not sliding on me. I'm now going to take my quilt backing, and usually there's not a top or a bottom, but if there is, you want to make sure you've got what would be the top of your backing, the top of your quilt, and of course wrong side up, because this is the backing. You want your wrong side of your backing facing up. Take the mark that you've made in the center and line it up with the center mark on the leader. Then lay your fabric across. I line it up right with the edge of the leader, all the way across. Now, if you have a large quilt, a long quilt, like a queen size or a king size backing, this part of laying the backing on is crucial because you don't want to stretch your backing. You want to lay it across here. Don't pull on it. Lay it just as it wants to lay. No tugging. Usually, if you're working with the crosswise grain of the fabric, there's a lot of stretch. So be careful not to stretch it. I personally love to work with the selvage edge here and have the selvage of the fabric as my line-up edge, because I know that there's not going to be as much stretch and I don't have to worry about that as much. Then I usually pin about 1/4 inch apart all the way across. My pins are close enough that they are almost touching the bottom of the pin to the head. And you want to start pinning at the center and go out in both directions. Okay, my backing is now pinned all the way across from center to the right, center to the left. Now I drop that, and I'm going to roll the entire quilt backing onto this top roller. I like to just kind of tap those pins down, and I roll a couple, smooth it out. You should see your backing lining up as you bring it around on both sides. Now, this roller also has the mark at the center, same measurement in to the center. My quilt backing has been marked in the center with my marker. And I'm going to unlock this roller and bring my quilt backing around and lay it right here on top, lining up the mark with the top of the leader all the way across. And I'm going to lock this roller so that it doesn't move. And this is the same technique as the top. I'm pinning 1/4 inch from the edge. I rolled the quilt top all the way over to this roller, even though it's going to come back onto this roller later, because I've learned that the quilt just will roll onto this roller so much smoother when it's coming off of this roller than if it's all laying here in the middle with all of the sag pulling on it. It doesn't take very much more time, and I think you get a better result. Now I'm going to roll the backing all onto this roller. Since this is the bottom of my quilt, I want all of the backing down on this end. And again, I like to just take a minute to smooth it out over the pins right here. Then I'm going to roll. This roller is released so that it's coming off of there. And I smooth as I go. And this gives me a really nice tight, my backing gets tighter on this roller when it's coming off of this roller already rolled on there because of the tension. Here comes the top of my quilt. I usually start with it, 4 or 5 inches down, and I'm going to stop and lock in my rollers, tighten it up, and it's done. To learn more about Innova, visit the Innova booth at a quilt show near you to see why Innova is built to quilt.